First thing is that if nobody wants to pay for classes, they need to remember that it is a language and they can learn it for free. But for that, they need to be really persistent and they have to create an environment. I call it artificial environment, and they just
That-
have to surround themselves with four things: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. There are clickbaits that learn English within 60 days. You can learn English in 90 days, become fluent in English. These all are clickbaits. They have to remember that. If we are able to talk like this, it has taken us a long time to get to this level. And in my case, if I talk about my personal experience, I have always been a camera conscious person. Like right now, I'm able to hold this conversation with you. I wasn't able to do this even last year. Like so, all these things are important, but you have to follow a kind of a structure, make it part of your routine, and don't stress yourself. Like I will give myself 16 days or 90 days to learn this language. No, don't give yourself challenges. Ma'am, I'm personally a very slow learner, but when it came to English, I was able to comprehend it quite easily because I never saw it as a subject. I know that it's not a subject; it's a language. This is nothing philosophical. I don't teach anyone. It is just for myself. Like I'm a very irresponsible guy. Like I forget things quite easily. Ma'am, good evening. How are you?
Thank, I'm doing fantastic, and thank you so much for sending me an email. And I really welcome you on my channel.
Thank
So
you
tell
for
me
giving me
about
your time,
yourself.
ma'am.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Please, you were
Uh,
saying something. Go ahead.
yes. Well, about myself, my name is Raushan, and I am from Bihar. I recently graduated or about to graduate with English honors,
Mm-hmm.
and currently I'm working in a school to pay my bills. I like to read, watching movies, and playing cricket are my hobbies. And I have started a YouTube channel where I talk about books, movies, and conversational videos like this. So this is from my side.
So you are a student as well as a YouTuber.
You could say a part-time YouTuber, and yes, I'm a student.
Okay. So what's the name of your channel, Roshan?
It is Roshan Escapes. Escapes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Roshan Escapes.
Escapes. Yes.
What motivated you to keep this name? This is something
Well,
fantastic.
I'm a kind of person who likes to engage with fictional stuff like reading, watching movies. I'm a social person too, but I don't like to approach people much. It's like I live in my own fictional world. If I'm reading something, I imagine myself a kind of character. So I like to romanticize the things which I'm doing. And one of my hobbies is to read and watching movies. So this is how I got that inspiration to keep my name Roshan Escapes.
Okay. Okay, I forgot to ask you, do you want me to introduce?
Sure, why not? It's good. It will be better for the viewers.
Okay. So, Roshan, as you know my name, and I
Hmm.
hail from Lucknow, the capital city of Uttar Pradesh. If you talk about my profession, I have been a
Hmm.
teacher for past 34 years, and now I'm a retired teacher.
Yes.
So yes, after retirement, I'm taking online classes these days, and
Hmm.
I also am running my YouTube channel. My channel's name is Grammar with Manju ma'am.
That's how I came across you. I watched a few videos of yours, and that's how I approached you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And this is how actually, this is the best part of YouTube channel actually. When I
Hmm.
started this channel, uh,
Hmm.
I was not knowing that it is going to be so interesting. But I was uploading grammar videos, some English
Hmm.
contents. That time I had lesser viewers, I can
Hmm.
say.
Hmm.
But once I started uploading conversational videos, so now I
Hmm.
see that people are watching and they are
Yes.
loving my contents. They are sending their comments,
Feedback.
their yeah feedbacks. So genuinely, I love it.
Yes.
And I am a mother of two children. And in my family, we are just four: my husband,
Hmm.
my two children, and me. My children
Hmm.
are not with me because they are working professionals. They are in their own places.
Hmm.
So this is in short about me.
Yes. I think talking about YouTube, I also was making videos about books and movies, and those videos were not getting many views. But once I did a Sasta podcast, I call it Sasta podcast with my friend, and it
Okay.
did pretty well. Then I started approaching people like you, and it's going fine now.
Now it's going fine. Okay, thank
Hmm.
you. That's great. Great to know. Actually, Although it doesn't matter much for me, I'm just
Hmm.
working on YouTube to make myself busy. But still, when you work, when you do something, we
Hmm.
being human being, we always want something
Yes.
in return,
Hmm.
isn't
Hmm.
it?
Hmm.
So when people
Uh,
watch our videos or contents, it's always, no, it's a pleasure to
eh,
see that.
of course, of course. It feels like finally you are getting paid for what you are doing, even though, like, I really care about the feedback. When I had started, I didn't care much what people were saying, but as I started getting comments, I really thought, those people are really interested in, because the way I see social media, I'm very active on it, and I struggle with a lot. Like, I don't want to go on it, but YouTube, I see it in a different manner. It's like I'm actually connecting to you. It's all because of YouTube. So in that manner, I see YouTube a completely different platform.
It is undoubtedly it is a very
Mm.
different platform, and it's beneficial for many because these
Mm-hmm.
days everybody wants to learn something or the other. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
somebody is
They want to
interested in
improve.
dancing, somebody is interested in music, somebody interested in playing some
Yes.
instrument. Yeah, so
Mm.
this is the platform whether you want to learn something related to cooking or you
Mm.
want to connect with native speakers even. Yeah? So in
Mm-hmm.
any area, any genre you want to work, you can get every stuff on YouTube
Yes. YouTube
and you
has
can
everything.
enjoy, you can relish it. Yes, so
Mm.
this is really because of YouTube, we both are connecting today, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
And
Mm.
yes, and it's not only about connecting with Indians, we are connecting with different people from all over the world.
All over the world.
So that's really quite interesting and getting to know
Mm.
about different people, their culture, their behavior, their
Mm.
routine, and we learn
Mm.
so many things from others. Yes,
Definitely.
yes, Roshan. So you said that you are doing your master's in English.
No, I'm about to graduate. Like, I have given my
Okay,
final year exam of BA,
okay.
and I'm planning to do B.Ed now. Now that my BA degree is about to complete, I will be pursuing B.Ed, hopefully next year.
Sure, why hopefully? 100% sure. It's not hopefully, okay? All right,
Hmm.
so there are many learners. I want to ask you one question, okay?
Go
Because
on,
you
go
are
on.
speaking English fluently and you have
Thank you.
come to this level. So I want to know that many people ask that I don't want to spend money, I
Hmm.
don't want to have paid classes, but I
Hmm.
want to become fluent.
Fluent.
Can you advise them that how can they grab this opportunity to become a fluent speaker? What should they do? Okay.
Hmm.
And what strategy you might have followed or
Hmm.
you have seen or heard from somebody? Please
Hmm.
share it for my viewers.
Definitely, I'd love to. First thing is that if nobody wants to pay for classes, they need to remember that it is a language and they can learn it for free. And internet can be the biggest tool they need to learn this language. They don't need anybody else, not even us. Like, we are teachers, we are teaching them. They don't even require us. But for that, they need to be really persistent and they have to create an environment. I call it artificial environment, and they just have to surround themselves with four things: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. And they can choose one drill from each of these options. Like, for me, I love to read fiction. So I read something which I find interesting, you know, fictional books or story books, mystery. So I go with that. In terms of listening, I listen to actors who I admire. For example, Shahrukh Khan is one of my favorite, not because
Okay.
he's very handsome, but because the way he articulates his ideas. I really find it interesting. And there are comedians like Theo Von, Bobby Lee. They are American, but even though we are culturally different, I find the absurdity in their everyday conversation really interesting. So I have been listening a lot podcast and videos of Shahrukh Khan interviews, and then listening part is covered with that. Writing, I won't say I'm fond of writing, but it is something I have been trying to get into. Like, I write about the stuff which I did today or which I'm planning to do, and I write about the books which I have read. I write about the movies I have watched. So these all drills I'm choosing from each of this sector: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. So if people are willing to do this all by themselves, then that's great for them. Otherwise, a teacher can provide them, that you have to do this, and they can correct them. And I have seen this and I feel it every day that when you are walking on the road or even on internet, there are clickbaits that learn English within 60 days. You can learn English in 90 days, become fluent in English. These all are clickbaits. They have to remember that. If we are able to talk like this, it has taken us a long time to get to this level. We can, you know, I know that my answer has been long, but we
No,
can
no, it's
comprehend the language.
quite good because learners
Hmm,
want to know this, that what
hmm,
how was your journey, how was my journey. It's very
hmm,
important and it motivates others also. So please
hmm,
go
hmm.
ahead. Yes.
And I would just tell one thing that you can comprehend a language within 90 days or within like 4 months. But when it comes to becoming fluent or able to communicate your ideas the way you want to, it takes time. And in my case, if I talk about my personal experience, I have always been a camera conscious person. Like right now, I'm able to hold this conversation with you. I wasn't able to do this even last year. Like I could understand people speaking, but I wasn't able to speak here like I'm doing right now. So it took me some practice, but I never, like in my head, it was never a conscious decision that I want to learn English. It was just for my sake that I wanted to entertain myself. Like I told you earlier, Raushan escapes. I was into my own world, interested in stories, and I thought that English is a medium by which I can explore more stories from the globe. And like the journey never stopped, and I kept like my schooling, it was done in Bihar board medium, so it was never that I went to a English speaking school. But because of my interest, my hobbies, I learned this language. I never had to learn much grammar, but I emphasis on it, like you need to know grammar, otherwise you won't be able to comprehend clearly. So all these things are important, but you have to follow a kind of a structure, make it part of your routine, and don't stress yourself. Like I will give myself 16 days or 90 days to learn this language. No, don't give yourself challenges, but make sure you are participating in all those drills regularly. Make it part of your routine. That has been
Very,
my
yes.
routine.
Very well answered, Roshan. Certainly, it's going to help the learners and my
I hope
viewers.
so. I hope
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's very well said that if we want to do anything, it's
Hmm.
not a time-bound training.
Hmm. Yes.
It
Yes, ma'am.
takes a lot of time to master anything. Even
Hmm.
we being girls, in our childhood, we were taught learn how to prepare tea, how to prepare chapati. That
Hmm.
also took so many years. Even today, also, I personally feel that I can cook even better, even
Yes.
better. Yeah, the
Hmm.
chapatis are not taking proper shape. Sometimes I feel
Hmm.
that one is getting bigger, the other is getting smaller. So still
Hmm.
we are learning to cook, which we have been watching our mothers cooking, grandmothers cooking since our childhood,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
practically cooking for so many years. But still we are learning. So anything
Definitely,
what
ma'am.
you want to acquire,
It takes
it
time.
takes time. It takes time.
Hmm.
But yeah, if
Hmm.
you just want to start your journey, for that somebody can say learn English in a week or in 2 weeks or
Yes,
in a
yes, yes.
yes,
It is just clickbait. It's just clickbait. I
yes.
mean, giving positive feedback to people is important. And especially teachers can help you to provide that feedback. And you will be able to acquire this language quite easily if there is somebody guiding you. Still, it's gonna take time. A teacher cannot make you guarantee you that you will be able to speak this way within 6 months or within 90 days. Nobody can guarantee you that. You just have to do the drills yourself.
And it's different for different
It
learners also.
depends. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That
Like
what is your
you,
mental level,
hmm,
how
hmm,
much
hmm, hmm.
consistent you are,
You are
what is your potential, yes,
potential,
how
definitely.
much efforts are you putting in,
Hmm, hmm.
isn't it?
Ma'am, I'm personally a very slow learner, but when it came to English, I was able to comprehend it quite easily because I never saw it as a subject. I know that it's not a subject; it's a language, and I was interested in stories. So for me, it was a plus point. Like I never had to take extra classes or things like that. But when it came to maths, science, I hated those subjects. I still do, but English was I never saw it as a subject.
Lovely, lovely answer.
Hmm.
Okay, Roshan, one very personal question. If you feel like
All right.
answering this question, please.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you
Hmm.
can just skip.
Hmm.
I want to know that from which part of Bihar do you belong to?
Uh, I'm from Siwan. It is about 100 kilometers from Patna, which is the capital of Bihar. So it's near,
Wow.
like if you see the map, it's around Nepal. Like Nepal is
Iman,
about,
Chapra, yeah.
yes, yes, Chapra, Chapra. Chapra is my neighborhood, like 60 kilometers away from Chapra.
And I want to congratulate
Hmm.
you that being a Bihari, you don't
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
MTI effect. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, yes, I get
Usually
that.
it happens when we speak English, mother
Hmm.
tongue influences a lot.
Influence is there. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
But that is
Hmm.
not there with you. And one more thing, I see a board behind you.
Yes, man.
Okay. And you have written so many things, lesson plan and this and that. So what is
Yes,
it? Can
yes,
you
yes.
describe about this?
This is nothing philosophical. I don't teach anyone. It is just for myself. Like I'm a very irresponsible guy. Like I forget things quite easily. So I have made sure to write down things which I need to do every day. Like talking to people like you or mindfully writing something. Like last year I was learning to type on keyboard.
Okay.
I wanted to get my speed above. But what I was doing was mindlessly typing anything. Like then I got an idea that I could write mindful things. Like I could write a script for my YouTube channel. I could write about the books I'm reading. So that kind of things I've written. And I told you, like I'm very responsible and I'm a very, you could say, pessimistic guy. I always look at that pessimistic spectrum of life. So that's a reminder for me that I have to be kind to myself and others too. So that's just what I've written there.
So, what are you doing? What are your approaches towards becoming an optimistic person?
Like I have
Because I
tried.
don't
I have
think
tried.
being
Hmm.
pessimistic is going to work for you. You have to
Hmm.
be
Hmm. Hmm.
optimistic. Okay. So, what is your approach? What are you doing?
Uh,
Are you really
Ma'am,
doing
you,
something? Yes.
hmm. I'm like I think that kindness is one quality that I need to acquire. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know that you have to be genuine. I don't really want to be a nice person just for calling myself a nice person. I genuinely want to help people in a manner that I do care about them. And
Mm-hmm.
it looks on their faces. I have seen some kind people and it really like I do admire them a lot that how kind they can be. So in that manner I like I have tried so many things to become optimistic but it has never worked for me. So I make sure that I'm not being too critical
Mm-hmm.
to myself and to others too, and for that I write down my things that uh, but whenever I'm writing I always go to that negative spectrum. I can't help but I consciously tell myself that Roshan, this is not what you should be doing. So like it's a journey. Just give me a moment, ma'am.
Yes, yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, yes, very good that
Hmm.
you are trying to become an optimistic person because that
Hmm.
is very important.
Yes,
And
I have also realized that.
yes, that is very important. You have to go a long way. You are still a
Hmm.
student, isn't it?
Hmm.
So
Yes, ma'am.
always try to think positively. Yeah, something
I
positive.
try.
Always,
I
always,
tried.
always do that. Okay.
Hmm.
So as you said that your approach is pessimistic always, I want to
Hmm.
ask you one. Maybe it is last question. If that something
Yes,
comes
yes,
to
ma'am.
you, then I'll certainly ask you. Otherwise, this is the
Hmm.
last question.
Sure, ma'am.
Whenever you go negative, as you said, your personality is pessimistic, your character
Hmm.
is like that. Okay.
Hmm.
So what do you do when your clips
Hmm.
are really down for you, when you
Hmm.
feel negative that time?
Uh,
What is your strategy? How do you
ac-
overcome this? Yeah.
Actually, I have been trying to talk to my friends. Like, I can't talk about these things to my parents because they don't really think that there is a thing called mental health or there is a thing called being positive or negative. For them, it's all about whether I'm studying or going to secure my future in a positive manner or not. But I do talk to my friends. I
Mhm.
have a good, I have a few friends with whom I can be myself. Like I can be vulnerable with them if I'm going through something. I go and talk about it, and I write down things. I write down things, and I think YouTube is helping me because I think English is a language where I can express my ideas quite clearly. Like to my parents, I talk in Bhojpuri, so I feel like I'm a different person to them. Still, to the core, I am Roshan. When I'm at my work, I speak Hindi. Still, I'm at core there. But here, I can, say the things which I actually is in my head because, like, for the past 4 or 5 years, I have been practicing writing or like just recording myself here. I don't
Mhm.
upload those. I haven't uploaded those videos, but in a manner, I feel like it works like therapy for me. I can't afford therapy, but like talking to you, talking to my friends, writing down things. This is how I'm managing right now. And of course, reading helps me in a manner. but I'm trying to avoid things which can trigger some of the things which I want to avoid. So I'm just surrounding myself with entertaining stuff. At the same time, I could learn something from them. That's how I do.
That's great. Actually, what I feel, this is my
Hmm.
personal experience, that
Hmm.
therapy doesn't work much. It
Hmm.
might be working for a few, but
Hmm.
what works is your attitude, your
Attitude,
behavior,
approach. Hmm.
your
Hmm.
approach towards
Hmm.
yourself, because nobody can understand you better
Better
than
than. Hmm.
you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah? So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can understand yourself better than
Hmm.
Manju or than
Anybody else.
any person, isn't it?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you know your problem. You know that
Hmm.
you are introvert, you are extrovert, you are
Yes. Yes.
pessimistic, you are optimistic. Then you
Hmm.
can think, why is it happening with me? It
Hmm.
doesn't
Hmm.
happen with
Hmm.
everyone.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then you can think in a different way that,
Hmm.
what shall I do to come
Hmm.
out of this? Because we know that
Definitely.
what is right
Definitely.
and what is wrong. We all know.
Hmm. Hmm. Of
Yes.
course we do. Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's how you can certainly
Thank you,
come out
ma'am.
of this. And this is the last one. I give one new word that is not very difficult for everyone, but one
Hmm.
new word I give in every video for my viewers.
Oh,
New
that's really
word
cool.
with meaning. If you want
Hmm.
to share any word and its
Hmm.
meaning and use in one
Hmm.
sentence, then you can go ahead, or I
Yes.
can just share one simple word for my viewers and
Hmm.
they can learn this. So if you have
Uh,
any word in your mind
hmm.
which
Yes,
recently
I like to use the word context a lot, like learn something in context. So, in simple words, I will say learn the uses, like context simply means related to it. You can say that.
true.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
context it, related. So, if you are learning any word, learn it in context and use them while you are speaking, writing, and talking to anybody. Otherwise, no matter whether you cram a dictionary, you are not gonna learn English. Learn words in context. That's from my side.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
ma'am.
much, Roshan. Very well explained and very
Hmm,
nice word, easy word, simple word, but very
hmm,
nicely explained it.
hmm.
And it is going to be really fruitful for all the viewers, those who are going to watch this video. Thank you so much
Yes.
for
Thank you,
being
ma'am. Thank
here
you for
over to
having me.
my channel.
Hmm.
Thanks a lot. It was a lovely
I hope
conversation with you.
I hope we can do it in future too. And
Sure, why
I
not?
really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed
I
it,
too,
ma'am.
I too. Same here. Okay, Roshan. Bye
Yes.
bye for now. See you
Bye, ma'am.
soon. Okay,
Yes.
bye bye.